Hello and happy Friday, everybody. You done know it's your girl, Bubbles, live and direct, straight out of Toronto, Canada. Canada, you done know. I need to call up some names. Some names we don't hear around the place. We hear about them, but when we don't hear their names being called. So I'm calling out Elijah, 19 years old, 14-year-old Rachel, 15-year-old Brianna, 13-year-old Kamani, 33-year-old Tony, 15-year-old Jeffrey, 15-year-old Titiana, 14-year-old Malia, 15-year-old Makai, 18-year-old Anthony, and 13-year-old Valentino. Some of you may have forgotten the name of 26-year-old Al Pacino and 29-year-old Regis. You don't know. Regis and Al Pacino, they're no longer with us, but we shouldn't forget their names. The rest of the names that I called out are Elijah, Rachel, Brianna, Kamani, Tony, Jeffrey, Titiana, Malia, Makai, Anthony, and Valentino. Those are the names of the missing Black young individuals missing from different locations of Ontario. We hear the name, we hear the hype about missing teens or youths in Ontario, but we don't call out their names. And as a community, we should be calling out their names and saying their names out loud. We're not hearing their names on CBC, on Global TV, on CTV, or City TV, or CP24. You don't know. No, we only hear the names of Black individuals that break into the People's Jewelry store or have warrants out for their arrest for car crimes. We know their names, you don't know, but we don't know the names or the whereabouts of Elijah, Rachel, Brianna, Kamani, Tony, Jeffrey, Titiana, Malia, Makai, Anthony, and Valentino. For a little short while, we heard Al Pacino's name and Kamani's name, but definitely we didn't hear their name for too long. You don't know. And it's just the way it is. On February the 3rd here in Toronto at Queen's Park, between 1 and 3 p.m., there will be a demonstration to call upon the Legislative Assembly of Ontario. You don't know. It's not just a demonstration for fame or recognition or to boost one's ego. We always talk about how unfair things are, yet we still sit down and accept the things that continuously happen in our community. Whenever anything happens or the safety of our community is in jeopardy, we always hear the authorities talk about, the home environment and, the nurture absentee fathers. But could I tell you something? I live right downtown in Toronto, and if you were to go to the youth shelters like the Covenant House down here in Toronto, I want to say that all the kids that hang out in the front of that shelter, there's no Black kids there. So how could you label every Black family as, living in turmoil or problematic when you go visit the Covenant House and these youth shelters where youths run to when they're running from home or coming from problematic families? The majority of the kids there are white. and other ethnic come from other ethnic groups. So to generalize and to marginalize and stigmatize is really a cruel thing, because a lot of things data and what have you, is based on statistics. But people don't take the time to research statistics and get numbers. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, based on statistics and factuality, most of the kids in these youth shelters where children go to for a place to sleep and a temporary home, most of the youths that occupy these shelters and what have you are outside of the Black community, are not of African Canadian. You don't know. So I just want to say we need to keep calling the names of these kids. Most of all, we need to stand up and stick together. We cannot cry for change when we don't make an effort to be a part of the change. You know that saying, it just takes one piece of stitch to unravel a big quilt? It's so true. Me, you, and you're all players in a much bigger plan. And we need each other to be a warm blanket of safety and strength and unity. You don't know. I know many are called, but few are chosen. But this initiative is not about ego, and it's not about being famous or glorified. You don't know. It's about making a difference. You know, if you don't like something, okay, look, I don't like wearing my glasses. What did I just do? I took them off. So if you don't like being marginalized, discriminated against, having our kids hunted down and assaulted by the police when they should be there to protect them, if you don't like the fact that whenever a Black person calls the police for help, the urgency of their situation is very minimized or disregarded or dismissed, if you don't like it, why don't you be a part of the change, you know? I'm hoping that our community will come out and support this initiative, this demonstration, to finally just log out of TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook and stand up and show up and be up. You don't know. It takes more than spreading awareness on social media. It's going to be Black History Month really soon. And you have to remember that the great legends coming from our Black history, they weren't people that sat down or we wouldn't know them. They got up, they stood together, they knew what the prize was, and they fought for that prize. Some of them even lost their lives, like Fred Hampton, Patrice Lumumba. Harriet Tubman risked her life making that trip from the south to the north. When you really believe in something, you're willing to go all the way. You don't know. So I just want to say again, February the 3rd, between 1 and 3 p.m. All the If you don't like the way it is, be there. You don't know. You're a part of the community. We all are. And one can't do without the other. You don't know. This is DJ Bubbles. I'm just going to say these names again: Elijah, Rachel, Brianna, Regis, Al Pacino, Kamani, Tony, Jeffrey, Titiana, Malia, Makai, Anthony, and Valentino. Be a voice for the voiceless and don't stop calling their names. Say their names really loud because they need you and me to speak for them. You done know. I'll see you February the 3rd down at Queen's Park. Bless up yourself. Until then, stay safe.